Hi guys, welcome to this week's episode, Barefoot Sail and Dive. This week, what are we doing, babe?
Well, we're preparing for our haul out. So there's a few odd jobs that we need to do around the boat in order to move her over to Marina Tropical.
There's actually a load of jobs to do. You're just going to see in this episode, we're just buzzing around, starting one thing, trying to finish another thing. So lots of small stuff in preparation.
Hi, I'm Erica, and this is my fiance Davey. We are living aboard our new to us hurricane-damaged catamaran, Barefoot 2.0. We met in Fiji 3 years ago and have experienced so many beautiful places together. For the past 2 years, we've made the ocean our home, starting on our Catalina 36 in the States and the Northern Caribbean. We hope to one day circumnavigate the globe, but for now we are fixing our boat one step at a time. Subscribe to our channel to follow our journey. When faced with a challenge, look for a way, not a way out. So guys, we are preparing a lot of different jobs in order to move the boat over to get her hauled out. It looks like the haul out will be either Monday or Tuesday of next week. So we're super excited to get up on the hard so we can start doing some of the bigger jobs on the boat.
Yeah. I also want to take this 2 seconds just to say a massive thank you to all the extra patrons that have jumped on and the other people that have found the donate button again. Thank you so much for showing the love and the support to help us through this difficult little time and help us get things sorted out ready for the haul out. So thanks again.
Thank you so much, guys. You're all amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What's your mission, babe?
The mission is, we haven't told you about this, guys, but on our boat, as you know, it's the duo, it's like the double owners version. So we've got 2 nice big back cabins and 2 beautiful big bathrooms with showers, and we never use the guest shower. Great to have an extra toilet and sink down there for guests, but guests could actually use our shower if we needed a second one.
We barely ever have guests.
We barely ever have guests, and we barely ever use anything down on that hull. So we've decided for the shower in the front here, I'm actually going to take you down to show it to you. Let's have a quick look. This area here in the front, so basically from here where the shower ends, I'm going to cut a 1/2-inch board with that waterproof MDF that I've got some left of, and I'm going to make this into a small workshop area. And I'll be able to put a curtain rail as well. Oh, I've got a curtain rail, but put a curtain up here to hide all my mess. But it will keep Erica happy because some of my other stuff, which takes over pretty much the whole boat, could be moved. And she also doesn't like it in the mornings when she's doing her yoga here, and she's got my tool bag at her feet and loads of other junk here in the living area. So that's the mission, keep Erica happy so she can do her yoga without looking at my tools.
This one's for you, Ron. There's Foxy. She's chillaxing in her bed with her new toy from Mum and Dad. They sent a care package and they sent a toy for Fox. It's a cute little pug. At least I think it's cute. What do you think, Fox? Also, so last night we borrowed our friend's Ninja Foodie. It is awesome. It can do air frying, it's pressure cooker, it's like everything all in one. As you know, we don't have an oven on this boat because it was broken before we got the boat, and it was vandalized, the door was taken off and stuff. So we haven't had an oven. So we're able to use this thing to cook food and pork tenderloin and roasted potatoes. It's awesome. So I think we're considering getting one eventually. Might even solve some of our stove problems because we wouldn't use the propane nearly as much if we had one of these things. We'll see.
Okay, so there we have it, the finished workbench. No, only joking. So this is just a cardboard template, so I've got something to take outside and mark on the 1/4-inch, no sorry, the 1/2-inch MDF that I'm going to use. So yeah, simple, just find some bits of cardboard, stick them together to get the right shape because there's no square edges in this bathroom. And yeah, I'll run that outside and that should give me a good starting point. So I've cut the first board, painted it white. I don't have the other pieces that I wanted. I want to make another piece that comes up here, but I don't have the screws. I'm also going to secure these. But I'm trying to get a few jobs done before we go over to the hard because I don't want to carry all the bits of wood over there and cut them there. I could do it just as easy here. And I've also got a nice shower curtain. Just makes it nice and neat and tidy. If we have guests, they can still come in, use the toilet and the sink, and then when it's my turn, open it up and I've got a little workshop area. So this is a sort of work in progress, if you will. It's going to be a lot nicer than this, and a lot more. I want a drawer at the bottom, better stacking system, and a different area for the tools. But for now, this is a great improvement. Okay, morning guys. So part of this preparation into moving on to the hard, we've heard there's a lot of bugs over there, worse than it is here.
Worse than here, and over here there's so many bugs because of the mangroves and stuff, but over in the yard it's even worse.
And at the moment what we've been using is this beautiful
shower curtain and duct tape.
Duct tape over there to let a little bit of airflow through. So we're doing away with this. I think that one's dead.
I think it's been dead for a while.
Also we've been well, we managed to find a little bit of no-seam screen. Yep. So I've come up with a plan, and I've made a template. So this one fits in the recess here. This is my template. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to make like about 1.5 inch frame, goes around. So I'm going to use this to cut the outside, measure it, and cut out the middle. Then I'll put a bug spray on it, maybe a bug screen.
Yeah, bug
screen.
Some of
the bug screen on it. And then I'm going to clamp another one onto the top of it. And then what we're going to do is going to get these little, we've ordered them from Amazon, haven't we?
Yeah.
The little clips that go from the sides, just to lock them in place. So it should be a lot more,
well, it'll look nicer as well.
And it might actually work. We'll be able to leave the windows open without the risk of the tape blowing off.
I think that's something we're going to need to source as well, is some of those covers.
We need to get these little covers. I think we can get them on Amazon. They're around. We can find them.
Yeah, because it doesn't look so nice with that.
Once we've done all the repainting and stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's one of my missions today, is this one.
Yeah, we don't want to have too many bugs inside when we're over on the hard. If we want to have some shaded time and have a drink and chill out.
Exactly, we need to be able to get away from the bugs.
We'll need to get away from the bugs.
So that's one of my missions for this morning, is to make these new bug screens.
So when we went to Santiago yesterday, we managed to find an epoxy barrier coat type paint. They had lots of it in stock at this one store. So it is a PPG Amber coat. And it's a great product. So we were able to get 4 gallons of that, so that should cover the bottom of the boat and hopefully some of the sides as well. So hopefully we'll have enough there. You can see it on the shelf. So we're all prepared, which means we're getting closer to being ready to be hauled out. Isn't that right, Fox?
Alright, so moment of truth. Here's the first side of the frame. See if it fits. That's a negative. That doesn't fit, does it? Alright, let's try again. Shaved off a little bit on the corner. I want it reasonably tight, because I want it to seal for no seams. Oh, that's pretty good. There we go.
Might not even need the clippy things.
Nah, might not need them. If I put some little handly bits on, I'd need something to be able to pull it off. Otherwise you'd have to go outside and push it. But no, that's great. Okay. Make another one for the other side. Right in the face.
Well, we want up here now. Whee! Hey guys.
Alright guys, so we're in the yard, just about to pay our deposit, ready for our haul out and work out. We got a bit lost in communication. We don't know if he wants us to haul out Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah.
I think it's Tuesday at 5 PM for high tide. So we've come across here into the yard, do a bit of a 360. So we've popped over here so we can have a chat with the gentleman and work out that we turn up on the right day. We want to turn up a day early.
Yeah.
we're good at stuff like that.
It's going to be something different. It's going to be hot. Yeah. At least there is a breeze
that comes through. This is a standard trade wind, so hopefully. It's actually more breeze than I thought would be here. Yeah. So yeah, I'm sure it's going to be hard for a little bit living in the yard, but that's just the way it is.
Yeah, we're just going to have to go with it.
Yeah, see what happens. Ready for the haul out. So it looks like Foxy's got a bit of competition here in the yard. Dogs everywhere. So this is the famous lift, which is going to pick us up. This is one that they actually drive under the boat and then pick you up. So I believe that for a catamaran is the best way to be hauled, because you haven't got the side pressure of straps. Looking forward to seeing it in action. Just another couple of days now. And while we're here, I thought I'd come and have a sneaky peek at Matt's boat, my friend Matt. You remember we did the repair here, the fiberglass repair? Looks pretty good. He did have a slight problem. The lads here didn't mix the paint very well, and it wouldn't dry. So they had to take the primer off and redo it. But our job looks pretty damn good, to be honest. Happy with that. Okay, so we managed to borrow this system here. I'm just gonna turn it off for a second, just while we do this. Okay, so we managed to borrow this system here from our friend Bruce. It's actually made by KTI Systems. He's asked me to give them a shout out because they made this system personally for him. Because there was a lot of people leaving Lupron with bad fuel and having to get towed back in. So he'd be able to help people out when they got towed back in, or help them before they leave by polishing their fuel. What we mainly want to do is we've still got fuel in these 2 drums, whereas our fuel tank is quite empty. And it's not good to leave a fuel tank empty with too much air, because you get condensation, so you get water build-up, and you can also get the parasite, the bug in there. So the 1/4 of a tank that I've got in here at the moment, what we're going to do is we're going to polish that through the filter, maybe for an hour or so. And afterwards we're going to polish these through themselves, and then we're going to fill the tank, top it off, because we're going to be in the yard for a while. We're not going to be running the engine, so I want it filled to the top, and I want a little bit of diesel additive in there as well to make sure they don't get anything nasty in there.
And then while we're on the hard, we might actually be able to take these blue barrels off of the boat, store them off, so we can actually get into some of the other nooks and crannies, clean it, and do some of the fiberglassing work that's behind them too. So
top up the fuel tank instead of having it all sat here.
Yeah, exactly. And who knows, depending on where we're going to go from here, we might not even need the blue barrels, right, Ben?
Yeah, exactly. We don't know where we're going yet.
Who knows?
Depends where we get our jobs. All right, should we fire this up?
But yeah, all right, let's do it.
Alright guys, so another part of this, the other day Erica was running the engine just to warm a little bit of hot water, and we noticed that the raw water pump wasn't pumping water. So I've jumped down here now, diagnosed the problem. It was super easy, difficult to show on the camera because the belts are on the back of the engine. But it was just literally, there were new belts a few months ago. We've run the engine for a couple of times just for hot water. I charged the batteries a little bit. They've just done their initial little stretch and it was just a little bit loose. So I've just nipped up both the alternator belt and the belt for the pump, and that's all good. But since we're moving the boat as well, I also just did the normal checks that we do. So check that we've got the water level is nice and topped up, also that the oil level is nice. So she looks all good. Done a quick overhaul on everything. She looks good to go on this engine, so we'll do the same on the other one.
Awesome.
Alright guys, as you've seen, we've managed to find the epoxy barrier coat that we needed, the good stuff, the PPG. That's fantastic, because it means we can get on with the grinding, repair the fiberglass, because we get the products here for that, and then we can get the coat on. Once it's all dried and repaired and everything, then we can get that sealant on there and prepare everything for paint. What we haven't been able to find though, babe, do you want to tell them about what we can't find?
So the main thing that we haven't been able to find is the anti-foul paint. I think we will have to ship it in, which means it'll take about 3 to 6 weeks to get it. But that's okay, because the anti-foul is obviously the last thing that we'll need to put on the boat just before we splash back in the water. So that'll be a month or two down the road. We've got plenty of time, so it means we can now get straight on with getting some of the work done. There's a lot of hours to put into the project on the hard, so we've got what we need to be able to start the process. Well, in talking with the marina today, it sounds like Tuesday is going to be the day that we get hauled out. So high tide, is at 5 p.m. Yeah. So we'll get hauled out 5 p.m. on Tuesday.
But he's asked us to come across on Monday so that he can prepare. Yeah. We showed you that little lift. He wants to prepare that, so he's going to measure our boat, find out where our lifting points are, and I think what he's going to do is put these telegraph poles across it that are then strapped to the lift, which is hydraulic. So he'll have that prepared. If we go Monday, he'll have it prepared ready for Tuesday afternoon. So we're going to actually move the boat on Monday. So
we'll have a change of scenery.
Yeah.
It's kind of exciting. We've been up here for a whole while. We like change of scenery, so that's great. Again, just a big shout out to all of our supporters who watch us on YouTube, all of you guys who press that subscribe button. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Don't forget the bell, guys, so you get notifications as soon as those videos come out.
We're excited for this next chapter.
See you on the hard. Aha!
Welcome to this week's episode of Barefoot Sail and Dive.
Start again.
Alright.
Okay, 1 minute.
What did you like? I was like, what's up? is.
Alright guys, so you've seen that we managed to source the, what's it called, the epoxy? Let's start again. Let's just start that again.
Davey's not so good with words today.
Alright, 3, 2, 1, stop it.